There's a moment in every dying relationship that no one warns you about. It's not the screaming, it's not the fights, it's not the door slams, the cold shoulders, or the nights spent in separate beds. It's the silence. You come home, and she's calm. You bring up something that used to spark an argument, and she just nods. You test her patience the way you always have, and instead of reacting, she simply lets it go. No pushback, no emotion, no fire. You think something changed, something improved, something finally clicked, but you would be wrong. Because when a woman stops arguing with you, she's not choosing peace. She's choosing distance. You remember how it used to be. She would challenge you, question you, demand things from you. She wanted communication, she wanted clarity, she wanted effort. She fought for the relationship because back then it mattered to her. But the moment she emotionally checks out, all of that stops. Not because things are suddenly better, but because nothing you do reaches her anymore. You try to talk and she listens, but she's not there. You make a mistake, and she forgives it instantly. Not because she's understanding, but because she no longer cares enough to hold you accountable. The arguments weren't the problem. The arguments were the connection. Silence is the funeral. And if you're at that stage right now, breathe, because the truth is going to sting, but it will also set you free. A woman doesn't walk away when she leaves. She walks away months before she leaves. Quietly, slowly, emotionally. She stops checking your tone. She stops correcting your behavior. She stops worrying about the future with you. She starts building a future without you. Her compliments disappear. Her questions fade. Her enthusiasm dries up. And you tell yourself she's tired, she's stressed, she's overwhelmed. She's going through something personal. You don't realize she's already detaching from the version of herself that needed you. And once she detaches emotionally, the rest of the collapse becomes inevitable. Men think relationships end with breakups, but women end relationships with disengagement. By the time she finally tells you she's unhappy, she's been gone for months. Here's the part men never understand. Arguments mean she still believes something can change. Arguments mean she still thinks her voice matters. Arguments mean she's still invested enough to fight for a different outcome. But silence has no hope left in it. Psychologists call this emotional flatlining. It's the moment her nervous system gives up on trying to shape you, reach you, or influence you. She stops trying to feel heard. She stops trying to feel seen. She stops trying to feel chosen. You're no longer part of the identity she's protecting. She's now protecting herself from you, not protecting the relationship with you. This is why her reactions become neutral, why she stops correcting you, why she seems oddly cooperative. It's not love, it's not maturity, it's not healing, it's resignation. And resignation is the final stage before the exit. Ask yourself this honestly. When did you first notice the shift? Was it when she stopped telling you her day? Was it when she started spending more time in another room? Was it when she stopped asking where you were going? Was it when she didn't complain about something she always used to complain about? Those weren't improvements, those were warnings. But men often misinterpret peace as progress because we're wired differently. We think conflict is the threat. We think silence is safety, but in a woman's heart, conflict is connection. Silence is extinction. If she argued with you, it meant she still felt something worth arguing over. If she pushed back, it meant she still wanted you to meet her halfway. If she cried, it meant she still cared enough to feel pain. But silence means she no longer believes you will ever understand her. Silence means the conversation is over, even if the relationship hasn't ended yet. And here's the hardest truth you will ever accept. When she stops arguing, she's already grieving the version of you she begged you to become. Here's the part men don't realize in time. Her silence isn't punishment, it's freedom. She's finally freeing herself from the emotional labor of pulling you toward your potential. She's freeing herself from the fantasy of the man she hoped you'd grow into. She's freeing herself from the responsibility of holding the relationship together. She's not quieter because you improved. She's quieter because she's done contributing. And here's what happens next. And you need to hear this with the honesty of a man rebuilding himself. Once a woman emotionally detaches, you cannot negotiate your way back in with promises. You cannot reconnect by suddenly doing everything she begged you to do months ago. You cannot revive something she already buried inside herself. This moment isn't about fixing her. It's about confronting yourself. Because the silence isn't about who she became. It's about who you refuse to become. So what do you do now? You stop chasing her approval and start rebuilding your identity. You stop reacting to her emotions and start mastering your own. You stop trying to revive a connection that already flatlined and start breathing life into yourself. If she's silent, let her be silent. Don't beg for arguments. Don't beg for attention. Don't beg for emotional sparks. You cannot pull someone back into a connection they had to abandon to survive. Your job now is simple. Become the man who would never lose her in the first place, not because she returns, but because you return to yourself. Strength doesn't come from forcing her to feel again. Strength comes from accepting the loss, sitting in the discomfort, and rebuilding with intention. Because here's the truth. The silence wasn't rejection. It was a mirror reflecting back the gap between who you were and who she needed. And that gap is yours to close, not for her, but for the man you're becoming. If her silence is echoing inside your chest right now, don't numb it, feel it. Because silence is information. Silence is revelation. Silence is the moment a man wakes up to himself. This is where transformation begins, not in saving a relationship, but in saving yourself. If you're new here, this channel exists for men who want the truth, not the comfortable version, not the sugar-coated version, but the version that forces you to grow. If this hits something in you, subscribe. Because you're not the only man living in the silence right now. You're not the only man trying to make sense of a woman's quiet goodbye. And you're not the only man rebuilding himself from the inside out. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of the version of you she always hoped would show up. Let's get to work.